Hello everyone. Welcome to Fluent English Journey. I am very happy to see you here today. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get daily tips and practice ideas to improve your English. Today, we are going to talk about something very important for anyone learning English. We will follow a journey that many learners know very well, the journey from feeling shy or nervous about speaking English to being able to speak confidently and naturally every day. This lesson is all about practical sentences and phrases that you can use in real life. By practicing these, you will do more than just memorize English words. You will learn to speak naturally, comfortably, and without stopping too much to think about grammar or vocabulary. Let's begin with your morning routine, because talking about your daily life is one of the easiest and most useful ways to practice English. Many people feel nervous when they try to explain what they do every day, but it can be very simple if you start small. For example, you can say, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Then I brush my teeth and take a shower. These are short sentences, but they tell a clear story. You can make them a little longer. After that, I make breakfast. I like to eat eggs and toast. I always drink a cup of coffee. Notice that these sentences are simple, complete, and easy to say. If you practice like this every morning, speaking English will start to feel natural, and you won't need to think about grammar too much. Next, let's look at greetings and small talk. These are very important for everyday conversations. When you meet someone in the morning, you can say, Good morning. How did you sleep? Hi, how's your day starting? These phrases are friendly and natural. Don't worry if your pronunciation is not perfect. The most important thing is to use these sentences regularly. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you will sound. Remember, speaking English is more about communication than perfection. Now, let's move on to sentences for work or study. When you reach an intermediate or advanced level, you can start using longer sentences with more details. For example, I have a busy day ahead, but I am looking forward to finishing my tasks efficiently. I am planning to review my notes this afternoon and then join the online meeting at 4 o'clock. These sentences are longer, but they sound very natural. By practicing complete sentences with time words and details, you will learn to speak in a more organized and confident way. The key idea is to start small and build gradually. Begin with short sentences about your morning or daily activities. Then add friendly greetings and small talk phrases. Finally, move to longer sentences with details for work, study, or personal plans. By practicing every day, you will notice a big change. Speaking English will feel more natural, and you will gain confidence to talk about anything at any time. One important area many learners find challenging is expressing opinions. Sometimes it feels risky to share your ideas because you worry about making mistakes. But expressing your thoughts is a key part of communicating clearly. The good news is there are safe and easy ways to do it. For example, in my opinion, reading every day really improves your vocabulary. I think practicing small conversations daily helps me feel more confident. Notice the phrases, in my opinion, and I think. These are polite, simple, and effective ways to start sharing your ideas. By practicing these sentences regularly, you will feel more comfortable talking about your thoughts in English. Over time, expressing opinions will feel natural, and people will pay attention to what you are saying, even if your sentences are not perfect. Another important part of speaking naturally is talking about feelings. Sharing emotions helps you connect with others and makes your English sound real and human. For example, you can say, I feel a little nervous before speaking in public, but I try to stay calm. I'm excited to learn new phrases every day because it helps me speak more fluently. Using sentences like this often will help you express yourself clearly and improve your confidence. You will start to feel more relaxed during conversations, and others will enjoy talking with you. Now let's practice sentences for asking for help or clarification. This is very useful in real life because nobody understands everything perfectly all the time. If you don't understand something, you can say, "Could you please repeat that? I'm not sure I understood. Can you explain it again?" These sentences are polite, show that you are actively involved in the conversation, and help you learn more effectively. People usually respond positively when you communicate clearly, even if you make small mistakes. Next, we can practice sentences for shopping or ordering food, which are very common situations. Start with simple sentences. I would like a cup of coffee, please. Can I see the menu, please? As you get more comfortable, you can make your sentences longer and more detailed. I'd like a cappuccino with extra milk. And could you also recommend a dessert? By adding small details, you not only practice speaking fluently, but you also sound more confident and natural in daily situations. Finally, it's important to practice social conversations, like inviting someone to join you or making plans. For example, would you like to join me for a walk this afternoon? Do you want to have coffee together after work? These sentences help you connect with others, make friends, and feel comfortable speaking English in real life. By practicing every day, starting with small sentences and gradually moving to longer ones, you will notice a big change. Speaking English will feel natural, and you will gain confidence to talk about anything at any time. Keep practicing and enjoy your journey to speaking English confidently, naturally, and comfortably. For example, you can say, "Would you like to join me for lunch? Do you want to come to the park this afternoon?" These sentences are friendly, simple, and natural. They help you interact comfortably with others. Practicing them regularly will make it easier for you to start conversations, make friends, and feel confident in social situations. The key to improving your English is daily practice. Start small with simple phrases about your feelings, opinions, and daily routines. Then gradually add longer sentences for real-life situations like shopping, ordering food, or making plans. Over time, your English will become smooth, natural, and confident, and speaking will feel easier and more enjoyable. Next, let's practice sentences for making plans and invitations. This is a very common and useful skill in daily life. You can start with simple sentences like, "Do you want to go for a walk this evening? I was thinking of going to the park tomorrow. Do you want to come?" These sentences are short, easy to say, and effective. They teach you how to express your intentions clearly and how to engage in friendly conversations. Using sentences like these regularly will help you feel more confident when inviting friends, planning activities, or just chatting in everyday situations. Now, let's move on to talking about experiences and storytelling. Being able to tell stories about what you did or saw is very important for speaking fluently. For example, last weekend, I visited a small museum in my city. It was fascinating because I learned so many new things about history. I tried a new recipe yesterday, and it turned out really well. I was proud of myself for trying something different. These sentences use complete ideas, not just words. By telling stories like this, you practice connecting your thoughts smoothly, which is an essential skill for advanced English. Next, let's practice giving advice or suggestions, another important part of daily conversation. For example, if you want to improve your English, I recommend practicing every day, even for just 10 minutes. One thing that helped me was listening to podcasts and repeating sentences out loud. Phrases like "I recommend" or "one thing that helped me" are polite and natural ways to share advice. Using them often will make your English sound friendly and confident. Now, let's talk about travel and transportation, situations you often encounter. You can practice sentences like, "I need to catch the bus to the city center. Could you tell me which platform it leaves from? I'm taking a taxi to the airport. How long does it usually take?" For more advanced practice, you can add small details. "I usually take the train because it's faster, but today I'm trying the bus to see if it's more convenient." Adding details about your habits, preferences, or plans makes your sentences richer, more natural, and closer to how native speakers talk. Next, let's practice sentences about health and well-being, which are useful when talking with friends, colleagues, or even doctors. For example, I've been feeling a little tired lately because I haven't been sleeping well. I think regular exercise really helps improve energy and focus during the day. Using sentences like this helps you share how you feel, discuss your routine, and connect naturally with others. Practicing them will make you more confident in expressing your needs, thoughts, and experiences. By practicing all these types of sentences every day, making plans, telling stories, giving advice, talking about travel, and sharing feelings, you will notice a big improvement in your English. Your sentences will flow naturally, you will speak more confidently, and your conversations will feel enjoyable. The key is small, consistent practice. Start with short, simple sentences, then gradually add details and longer phrases. Over time, your English will feel natural, smooth, and ready for any situation. Now, let's continue by talking about personal experiences and daily habits. Sharing what you do every day or new activities you try is a great way to practice English. For example, I started jogging in the morning. It was difficult at first, but after a few weeks, I feel much healthier and more energetic. Simple sentences like this help you explain your experiences clearly. By practicing them every day, it becomes easier to talk about yourself, express your thoughts, and connect naturally with others. Next, let's focus on asking questions naturally. Asking questions is not only about getting information, it is also a way to keep conversations active and friendly. For example, could you tell me how to get to the nearest supermarket? Do you know if the library is open today? These are clear and polite ways to ask for help or information. For more advanced practice, you can add small details to make the conversation more natural. I heard there is a new cafe nearby. Do you know what time it opens? By asking questions like this, you learn to think in English and speak fluently without hesitation. Another useful skill is expressing preferences. This is very common in casual conversations and helps people understand your likes and dislikes. For example, I prefer reading books in the evening rather than watching TV. I really enjoy trying new dishes when I travel. It's always interesting to experience different cultures. For more advanced sentences, you can add details to explain your choices. I usually choose quiet places for studying because I can concentrate better, but sometimes I like working in a cafe to feel more energetic. Expressing preferences naturally helps you sound confident and personal when talking with others. Now, let's move on to talking about problems and finding solutions. This is an important skill because it helps you explain difficulties and think of ways to solve them. For example, I had trouble finishing my work yesterday because I didn't manage my time well. Tomorrow, I will try a new schedule. Sometimes I get lost when I take the bus. I try to use a map or ask someone for directions. By practicing sentences like this, you will learn to talk about challenges clearly, share your ideas, and communicate naturally in everyday life. This is very important because speaking English at an advanced level isn't just about talking. It's about explaining situations clearly and solving problems. For example, you can say, I have a problem with my computer. It's not connecting to the internet properly. I'm struggling to manage my time because I have many tasks to complete today. These sentences clearly explain a problem. You can also suggest solutions, which shows that you are thinking logically and communicating effectively. For example, I think I should create a schedule to organize my day better. Maybe restarting the computer will fix the issue. Practicing sentences like these helps you communicate clearly and confidently, even in challenging situations. By practicing different types of sentences, talking about personal experiences, asking questions, expressing preferences, and discussing problems, you will develop smooth and natural English skills. The key is small, consistent daily practice. Start with simple sentences and gradually add more details and complexity. Over time, you will notice that speaking English becomes easier, more confident, and more enjoyable, whether you are chatting with friends, solving problems, or sharing your thoughts and experiences. Now, let's talk about hobbies and interests. Sharing what you enjoy doing is a simple and effective way to start conversations, especially with new people. For example, I enjoy painting because it relaxes me after a busy day. I've recently started learning guitar, and I'm trying to practice every day. These sentences are short, clear, and easy to use. For more advanced practice, you can add details about frequency, experience, or feelings. I usually spend weekends hiking in the mountains. It's physically challenging but very rewarding because I get to enjoy beautiful nature. Talking about hobbies this way helps you share your personal experiences confidently and naturally. Next, let's focus on daily habits and routines, which are very useful for building fluency. You can start with simple sentences. I usually wake up at 7, have breakfast, and then check my emails before starting work. I try to read English articles for at least 30 minutes every day. These sentences are practical and easy to say, and they allow you to practice connecting ideas smoothly. For more advanced practice, you can add reflections or results. I started practicing journaling in English every morning. It's helping me improve my vocabulary and express my thoughts more clearly. Talking about your routines this way helps you form complete, natural sentences and improves your overall fluency. Now, let's practice making polite suggestions, an important skill for both personal and professional conversations. You can start with simple sentences. I suggest trying the new cafe downtown. I heard it's very good. If you want to improve your speaking, you could practice with a friend every day. For more advanced learners, you can add context or planning details. Perhaps we could schedule a short meeting tomorrow to discuss the project. This way, everyone will have a clear understanding before starting work. Using polite suggestions in English makes your speech friendly, professional, and confident. Next, let's practice talking about past experiences, which is important for storytelling. Sharing what you did recently helps you connect ideas smoothly and speak more naturally. For example, last weekend, I went to a local market. It was very lively, and I enjoyed tasting different foods. I tried a new recipe yesterday. It was more difficult than I expected, but it turned out delicious, and I felt proud of myself for trying something new. By narrating experiences with full sentences, you practice linking ideas, adding details, and expressing emotions, which are essential skills for advanced English learners. By practicing sentences about hobbies, routines, polite suggestions, and past experiences every day, you will notice a big improvement in your English fluency. You will speak more naturally, express yourself clearly, and feel confident in different situations. Whether you are meeting new people, sharing your thoughts, or telling a story, the key is consistent daily practice. Start with simple sentences and gradually add more details, reflections, and feelings. Over time, your English will sound smooth, confident, and natural in all conversations. Now, let's continue with storytelling and sharing experiences. This is a very useful skill because it helps learners connect sentences naturally and speak more fluently. You can start with simple sentences. I tried a new recipe yesterday, and it turned out delicious. For more advanced practice, you can add reflections and details. I visited a small museum last month. It was fascinating because I learned about local history and saw unique artifacts I had never seen before. Sharing stories like this helps you practice linking ideas, adding feelings or observations, and speaking more smoothly. Storytelling is a powerful way to improve fluency and confidence in English. Next, let's practice giving advice or recommendations, which is very common in daily conversations. You can start with simple sentences. I recommend reading English news every day. It helps improve both vocabulary and comprehension. One tip I can share is to listen to podcasts and repeat sentences aloud to practice pronunciation. For more advanced learners, you can expand your advice to include reasoning and habits. I suggest speaking English every day, even if it's just a few sentences. This habit builds confidence and helps you think in English naturally. Using polite advice phrases like these makes your speech friendly, natural, and effective. Now, let's focus on expressing future plans and intentions, which is very useful for advanced English learners. You can start with simple sentences. Tomorrow, I am planning to visit the library and borrow a few books. Or you can talk about future plans. For example, next weekend, I will try a new recipe and invite my friends for dinner. I'm going to start a new course next month because I want to improve my writing skills and expand my vocabulary. Using future tenses like this helps you speak clearly and confidently, making your English sound natural and professional. Adding reasons and details makes your sentences more interesting and easier to understand. Next, let's practice talking about likes and dislikes in more depth. Simple sentences like, I like coffee. I don't like cold weather, are a good start, but you can make them richer by adding explanations. I really enjoy reading novels in the evening because it helps me relax and improves my vocabulary. I'm not very fond of crowded places, but sometimes I go because I enjoy the experience. Adding reasoning to your statements makes your English sound more natural, conversational, and interesting. Now, let's practice apologizing and responding politely, which is an important part of daily interactions. For example, I'm sorry for being late. I got stuck in traffic. I apologize for the mistake. I'll fix it immediately. Polite responses can be simple. That's okay. Don't worry. Thank you for letting me know. Practicing polite sentences like these will help you communicate respectfully and build good relationships, whether at school, work, or with friends. By practicing storytelling, giving advice, expressing future plans, sharing likes and dislikes, and apologizing politely, you will gradually develop more natural and fluent English. Start with simple sentences, then add details, explanations, and reflections. With consistent daily practice, your English will become smooth, confident, and ready for any conversation. Let's continue by practicing polite communication, which is important in both social and professional situations. For example, I'm sorry for being late. I got stuck in traffic. I apologize if I made a mistake. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. For more advanced practice, you can add details or context. I'm really sorry for interrupting your work. I should have asked if it was a good time to speak. Using sentences like these helps you communicate politely and confidently, whether you are talking to friends, teachers, or colleagues. Next, let's practice expressing agreement and disagreement, which is important for discussions and conversations. You can start with simple sentences. I completely agree with your idea. It makes a lot of sense. I see your point, but I think there's another way to look at it. For advanced learners, you can expand your sentences with reasoning. While I agree with most of your argument, I believe that considering a different perspective might provide a more complete solution. Practicing these sentences helps you sound confident, respectful, and capable in debates or discussions. Now, let's focus on expressing certainty and doubt, which makes your English sound natural. For example, I'm sure this is the right answer. I'm not entirely certain, but I think it could work. For more advanced practice, you can add reasoning. I have strong reasons to believe this approach will be effective, although there might be some challenges we need to consider. Using these phrases allows you to express your thoughts clearly and confidently, even when you are unsure. Next, let's practice asking for opinions and feedback, which is common in both professional and casual situations. You can start with simple sentences. What do you think about this idea? I'd like your opinion on this matter. For advanced learners, you can make your sentences more detailed and polite. I'd really appreciate your feedback on my project because your experience could help me improve it significantly. Using sentences like these in conversations shows confidence and respect for other people's ideas, which is very important in both work and social life. Finally, let's look at phrases for online communication, which are increasingly useful today. For example, could you send me the document? These sentences are short, polite, and practical. As you gain confidence, you can combine them with more details. Could you please send me the updated document by this afternoon? It will help me finish my work on time. Practicing these phrases helps you communicate clearly and politely online, which is a valuable skill for school, work, or personal projects. By practicing polite communication, agreeing and disagreeing, expressing certainty or doubt, asking for feedback, and using online communication phrases every day, you will develop strong natural English skills. Start with simple sentences, then gradually add details, reasoning, and polite expressions. With consistent daily practice, your English will become smooth, confident, and ready for any conversation, whether in person or online. Now, let's practice phrases for online communication, which are very useful in today's digital world. You can start with simple sentences. Could you send me the document by email? I'll join the online meeting at 3 o'clock. For advanced learners, you can make your sentences longer and more detailed. I've shared the document in the group chat. Please review it when you have time and let me know your thoughts. Practicing these phrases helps you communicate clearly, politely, and effectively online, whether for professional work or casual conversations with friends. You can start by expressing emotions. For example, I feel excited about the new project because it challenges me. I was a little disappointed yesterday when the event got canceled. For more advanced practice, you can add details or reflections. I felt overwhelmed by the workload last week, but I'm gradually learning to manage my time better and feel more in control. Using full sentences to express emotions helps you connect naturally with others and makes your English sound fluent and expressive. Next, let's practice expressing preferences in detail, which is useful for advanced daily English. You can start with simple sentences. I prefer working in the morning because I feel more productive. I like studying in a quiet environment, but sometimes I enjoy listening to soft music while reading. For advanced learners, you can add reasoning and context. I generally prefer reading physical books over digital ones because I can focus better, but I use ebooks when traveling because they are convenient. Practicing detailed preference sentences makes your English sound natural, confident, and personal. Next, let's practice phrases for problem solving, which are important for advanced conversations. You can say, I'm trying to find a solution to this issue. Let's brainstorm some ideas to improve the situation. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and planning. I've noticed a recurring problem in our workflow. Perhaps we can analyze the process together and identify ways to make it more efficient. Using sentences like this helps you express logical thinking clearly in English, which is essential for work, school projects, or any discussion requiring problem-solving skills. Now, let's practice storytelling and describing experiences, which are key skills for advanced fluency. You can start with simple sentences. Last summer, I traveled to a new city and enjoyed visiting museums and parks. For advanced learners, you can add details and reflections. Last summer, I traveled to a new city. I visited several museums and parks, and I enjoyed learning about the local culture and history. It was an unforgettable experience because I discovered so many new things and met friendly people. Practicing storytelling with full sentences helps you link ideas naturally, express emotions, and sound fluent when talking about experiences. By practicing online communication, expressing emotions, sharing preferences, solving problems, and storytelling, you will gradually improve your advanced English skills. Start with simple sentences, then add more details, reflections, and reasoning. With consistent daily practice, your English will become smooth, confident, and natural in both personal and professional situations. Let's continue with storytelling and describing experiences. This helps you connect sentences naturally and speak more confidently. You can start with simple sentences. Last summer, I traveled to the mountains and the scenery was breathtaking. I tried cooking a traditional dish from another country. It was challenging but rewarding. For advanced learners, you can add details and reflections. During my trip last year, I visited several historical sites. It was fascinating to learn about the culture and traditions, and it inspired me to study history more deeply. Practicing storytelling like this helps you link ideas smoothly, express feelings, and sound fluent in English. Next, let's focus on making plans with others, which is a common part of social English. You can start with simple sentences. Do you want to go to the cinema tomorrow? Let's meet at the cafe at 6 o'clock. For advanced learners, you can add details and polite expressions. I was thinking we could try the new Italian restaurant this weekend. It would be a nice change, and we could also catch up on each other's news. Using polite and detailed invitations helps you communicate confidently and makes social conversations easier and more natural. Now, let's practice describing situations and giving explanations, which is essential for clear communication. You can start with simple sentences. The traffic was terrible today because there was an accident on the main road. I didn't attend the meeting because I was feeling unwell. For advanced practice, you can expand with more context and details. I couldn't participate in the workshop yesterday due to a family commitment, but I plan to review the materials and catch up on what I missed. Explaining situations clearly helps you communicate effectively in professional or personal settings. Next, let's practice expressing hopes and dreams, which is very useful for personal conversations. You can start with simple sentences. I hope to improve my English speaking skills this year. I dream of traveling to Europe and experiencing different cultures. For advanced learners, you can add reasoning and details. I hope to participate in an international conference someday because it would give me the opportunity to share my ideas and learn from experts in my field. Using sentences like these helps you speak confidently about your future plans and aspirations, making your English sound natural and expressive. By practicing storytelling, making plans, explaining situations, and expressing hopes and dreams, you will gradually improve your English fluency. Start with simple sentences, then add reflections, reasons, and extra details. Over time, these exercises will help you speak smoothly, confidently, and naturally in both personal and professional conversations. Consistent daily practice is the key to becoming fluent and comfortable in English. Next, let's practice expressing regrets or past mistakes, which is important in both casual and professional English. You can start with simple sentences. I regret not studying harder for the exam. I wish I had practiced more before my presentation. For advanced learners, you can add reflections and details. Looking back, I realize I should have asked more questions during the meeting. It would have helped me understand the project better. Using expressions like these helps you sound thoughtful, reflective, and fluent when talking about past actions. Finally, let's focus on expressing probability and possibility, which is common in discussions and planning. You can start with simple sentences. It might rain later, so I will take an umbrella. There could be some delays in the project due to unexpected issues. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and context. It is highly likely that the new software will improve productivity, but we should be prepared for some initial technical problems. Using sentences like these helps you speak clearly, logically, and confidently in English, especially when planning or discussing possibilities. Next, let's practice expressing probability and possibility, which helps you sound precise, careful, and professional when discussing plans or predicting outcomes. You can start with simple sentences. It might rain later, so I will take an umbrella. There could be some delays in the project due to unexpected issues. For advanced learners, you can add reasoning and context. It is highly likely that the new software will improve productivity, but we should be prepared for some initial technical problems. Practicing these phrases helps you sound confident and professional in planning and discussions. Now, let's practice expressing preferences politely, which is useful in both personal and professional situations. You can start with simple sentences. I would prefer to have the meeting in the morning. I'd rather study at the library because it's quieter. For advanced learners, you can make your sentences longer and more detailed. I would actually prefer completing the project this week rather than next because it gives us more time to review everything carefully. Using polite preferences makes your English sound confident, respectful, and professional. Next, let's practice describing people, which is useful for storytelling, social conversations, and professional introductions. You can start with simple sentences. My friend is very friendly and helpful. The teacher is patient and explains things clearly. For advanced learners, you can expand with more details and examples. My colleague is extremely creative and always comes up with innovative ideas that improve our project significantly. Using descriptive sentences helps you speak naturally, share experiences clearly, and improve fluency. By practicing expressing regrets, probability, polite preferences, and describing people, you will gradually develop more advanced English skills. Start with simple sentences, then add reflections, reasons, and extra details. These exercises help you communicate clearly, confidently, and naturally in both personal and professional situations. Consistent daily practice is key to becoming fluent and comfortable speaking English in any situation. Next, let's practice expressing surprise or reactions, which is very useful in natural conversations. You can start with simple sentences. I can't believe it! That's amazing! For advanced learners, you can add more detail and explanation. I was genuinely surprised by how quickly the team completed the project. Their dedication is truly impressive. Practicing reactions helps you respond naturally, keep conversations flowing, and show your feelings clearly. Now, let's focus on giving detailed instructions or directions, which are essential in daily life. You can start with simple instructions. Turn left at the next traffic light, then go straight for 2 blocks. To complete the form, fill in your personal details first, then provide your contact information. For advanced learners, you can expand with more steps and detail. First, log into your account. Then, select the course you want to enroll in. Finally, confirm your payment to complete the registration process. Practicing these sentences helps you communicate clearly and confidently in practical situations at school, work, or daily life. Next, let's practice making comparisons, which is useful for expressing opinions or describing experiences. You can start with simple sentences. This restaurant is better than the one we visited last week. I think reading books is more enjoyable than watching TV. For advanced learners, you can add reasoning and extra details. In my opinion, traveling by train is more relaxing than flying because you can enjoy the scenery and move around freely. Using comparisons makes your speech richer, more interesting, and engaging. Now, let's move on to giving compliments, which are very useful in social and professional English. You can start with simple sentences. You did a great job on this project. I really like your presentation style. It's clear and engaging. For advanced learners, you can add details and context. Your ability to explain complex concepts so clearly is impressive. I think it really helps the whole team understand the project better. Compliments are important because they build rapport, strengthen relationships, and make conversations friendly and professional. By practicing reactions, giving instructions, making comparisons, and giving compliments, you will gradually improve your English fluency and confidence. Start with simple sentences, then add extra details, reasoning, or reflections. Practicing these types of sentences regularly helps you speak naturally, engage others, and sound more expressive in both personal and professional situations. Consistent daily practice is the key to becoming confident and fluent. Next, let's practice expressing gratitude, which is essential for politeness and building good relationships. You can start with simple sentences. Thank you for your help. I really appreciate your support. For advanced learners, you can add more detail and sincerity. I sincerely appreciate the time you took to review my work. Your feedback has been incredibly valuable and has helped me improve significantly. Using gratitude phrases naturally makes your English sound polite, confident, and professional. Now, let's focus on expressing opinions with nuance, which is important for advanced English. You can start with simple sentences. I think this approach has some advantages, but there might be better alternatives. In my opinion, the plan is solid, but it could benefit from a few adjustments. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and explanations. While I generally agree with your proposal, I believe incorporating additional research could strengthen our argument and make the outcome more effective. Using nuanced opinions helps you communicate clearly, logically, and persuasively. Next, let's practice expressing agreement politely, which is important in discussions and teamwork. You can start with simple sentences. I agree with your point completely. You're right, that makes sense. For advanced learners, you can add more detail. I see your perspective and I agree with the majority of your argument. However, there might be a few additional factors to consider for a more comprehensive solution. Polite agreement helps you maintain positive communication and sound professional in discussions. Finally, let's practice expressing disagreement respectfully, which is essential for advanced learners. You can start with simple sentences. I understand your point, but I have a different perspective. I see what you mean, but I think there's another way to look at it. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning. I respect your opinion and I understand your reasoning. However, I would suggest considering another approach that could address the situation more effectively. Using respectful disagreement helps you communicate confidently, maintain good relationships, and sound thoughtful during conversations. By practicing gratitude, nuanced opinions, polite agreement, and respectful disagreement, you will gradually improve your advanced English skills, become more confident, and be able to communicate clearly and naturally in all situations. Start with simple sentences, then gradually add details, explanations, or reflections. Practicing these phrases regularly will help you speak fluently, sound confident, and communicate effectively in both personal and professional situations. Daily practice is the key to becoming comfortable and natural in English conversations. Next, let's practice phrases for giving opinions with certainty, which makes your English sound confident and authoritative. You can start with simple sentences. I am certain this strategy will work. I strongly believe this is the right decision. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and details. I am confident that implementing this solution will yield positive results and improve overall efficiency. Using sentences that show certainty helps you sound fluent, professional, and convincing in discussions or debates. Now, let's focus on phrases for expressing hesitation or uncertainty, which is natural in advanced conversations. Start with simple sentences. I'm not sure, but I think it could work. I might be wrong, but this seems like a good idea. For advanced learners, you can add more context. I'm not entirely certain about the timeline, but based on current progress, it seems feasible to complete the project by next month. Using phrases for uncertainty helps your speech sound natural and professional, showing that it's okay to think carefully before giving an answer. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing agreement with emphasis, which is useful in conversations, teamwork, and debates. Start with simple sentences. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with your idea. You're completely right. That makes perfect sense. For advanced learners, you can expand. I fully agree with your suggestion, and I think implementing it will greatly improve the efficiency of our workflow. Emphasized agreement helps you communicate support clearly and confidently. Now, let's practice phrases for expressing disagreement tactfully, which is essential for advanced English. Start with simple sentences. I understand your point, but I see it a little differently. I see where you're coming from, but perhaps there's another perspective. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning. While I respect your opinion and understand your reasoning, I believe considering an alternative approach could provide a more effective solution to the problem. Using polite disagreement shows maturity, respect, and professionalism, allowing you to communicate your ideas without offending others. By practicing giving opinions with certainty, expressing hesitation, emphasizing agreement, and tactful disagreement, you'll improve your confidence and fluency in advanced English. Start with simple sentences, then add reasoning, reflections, or extra details. Over time, these exercises will help you think in English, speak naturally, and communicate clearly in both personal and professional settings. Daily practice is essential for becoming a fluent, confident English speaker. Next, let's focus on phrases for sharing personal experiences, which are very useful for storytelling and daily conversations. Start with simple sentences. I went to a new cafe yesterday and the food was amazing. Last weekend, I visited a historical site in my city. It was very interesting. For advanced learners, you can add more detail and reflection. During my recent trip abroad, I attended a cultural festival. It was fascinating to experience the local traditions firsthand and meet people from different backgrounds. Sharing experiences naturally helps you speak fluently, connect ideas, and gain confidence in English. Next, let's practice phrases for making polite suggestions or recommendations, which are useful in both social and professional English. Start with simple sentences. I suggest trying the new library section. It has a lot of useful resources. You could join a language exchange group to practice speaking. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and advice. Perhaps it would be beneficial to schedule short daily practice sessions. This approach can significantly improve fluency and build confidence over time. Using polite recommendations makes your English sound respectful, helpful, and practical. Now, let's practice phrases for expressing possibility and probability, which are common in advanced conversations. Start with simple sentences. It might rain later, so I'll take an umbrella. There could be some delays due to heavy traffic. For advanced learners, add detail and reasoning. Based on the current data, it is likely that the project will be completed on time, although we should be prepared for potential challenges. Expressing probability clearly helps you sound thoughtful, precise, and professional. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing certainty, which are important for confident communication. Start with simple sentences. I am certain this method will work. I strongly believe this approach is the best choice. For advanced learners, expand with reasoning and explanation. Given the research and previous results, I am confident that implementing this strategy will yield positive outcomes and improve overall performance. Using phrases to show certainty helps you sound confident, fluent, and persuasive in both conversations and professional situations. By practicing sharing experiences, making polite suggestions, expressing probability, and showing certainty, you will gradually improve your advanced English skills. Start with simple sentences, then add details, reasoning, or reflections. Practicing these phrases daily will help you speak naturally, think in English, and communicate clearly in social, academic, and professional settings. Consistent practice is the key to becoming a confident and fluent English speaker. Next, let's focus on phrases for expressing hopes, dreams, and goals, which is very useful for personal conversations and professional discussions. Start with simple sentences. I hope to improve my English speaking skills this year. I dream of traveling to Europe and experiencing different cultures. For advanced learners, you can add reasoning and details. I hope to participate in an international conference someday because it would give me the opportunity to share my ideas and learn from experts in my field. Using phrases for hopes and goals helps you speak confidently about the future, making your English sound natural and expressive. Now, let's practice phrases for expressing regrets or past mistakes, which is important in both casual and professional English. Start with simple sentences. I regret not studying harder for the exam. I wish I had practiced more before my presentation. For advanced learners, you can add reflection and reasoning. Looking back, I realize I should have asked more questions during the meeting. It would have helped me understand the project better. Expressing regrets thoughtfully helps you sound reflective, mature, and fluent when talking about past actions. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing probability and possibility, which is very common in planning and discussions. Start with simple sentences. It might rain later, so I will take an umbrella. There could be some delays in the project due to unexpected issues. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning and context. It is highly likely that the new software will improve productivity, but we should be prepared for some initial technical problems. Using probability phrases helps you speak precisely, professionally, and thoughtfully. Now, let's focus on phrases for expressing preferences politely, which is useful in both personal and professional conversations. Start with simple sentences. I would prefer to have the meeting in the morning. I'd rather study at the library because it's quieter. For advanced learners, you can make your sentences longer and more detailed. I would actually prefer completing the project this week rather than next because it gives us more time to review everything carefully. Polite preference phrases make your English sound respectful, confident, and professional. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing surprise or reactions, which are important in natural conversations. Start with simple sentences. I can't believe it! That's amazing! For advanced learners, add detail and context. I was genuinely surprised by how quickly the team completed the project. Their dedication is truly impressive. Using reaction phrases helps you respond naturally, show emotions, and keep conversations flowing. Now, let's focus on phrases for giving detailed instructions or directions, which are essential in daily life and professional settings. Start with simple sentences. Turn left at the next traffic light, then go straight for 2 blocks. To complete the form, fill in your personal details first, then provide your contact information. For advanced learners, you can expand with multiple steps and context. First, log into your account. Then, select the course you want to enroll in. Finally, confirm your payment to complete the registration process. Using detailed instructions helps you communicate clearly, confidently, and effectively. By practicing sharing past experiences, expressing future intentions, giving advice, describing emotions, discussing opinions, expressing regrets, showing probability, polite preferences, reactions, and instructions, you will develop advanced English fluency. Start with simple sentences, then gradually add reflections, reasoning, details, and context. With daily consistent practice, your English will become smooth, confident, and natural in any personal, academic, or professional conversation. For advanced learners, you can add detail and reasoning. I'm planning to visit the library tomorrow to prepare for my research project because it will give me quiet time to focus. Next week, I will visit my friend in the city since we haven't met in a while, and it will be a good opportunity to catch up. Using detailed phrases for plans and schedules helps your English sound organized, natural, and confident, whether in social or professional contexts. Next, let's practice phrases for making suggestions and recommendations politely, which is very important in both personal and professional conversations. Start with simple sentences. I suggest trying the new cafe nearby. You could join the language exchange group to practice speaking. For advanced learners, add reasoning and context. Perhaps it would be beneficial to schedule short daily practice sessions. This approach can significantly improve fluency and build confidence over time. I recommend attending the workshop because it offers practical exercises that will help develop your skills quickly. Using polite suggestions makes your English sound thoughtful, professional, and helpful. Now, let's focus on phrases for expressing preferences and choices politely. Start with simple sentences. I would prefer to meet in the morning. I'd rather study at the library because it's quieter. For advanced learners, you can expand with reasoning. I would actually prefer completing the project this week rather than next because it gives us more time to review everything carefully. I generally prefer online meetings since they save time, but I don't mind meeting in person if it helps improve collaboration. Using polite expressions of preference helps your English sound respectful, professional, and confident. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing curiosity, interest, and engagement, which keep conversations active. Start with simple sentences. I'm curious about that. Could you explain more? That sounds interesting. Tell me more about it. For advanced learners, you can expand with detail and reasoning. I'm really interested in learning more about your approach because it seems innovative and could provide valuable insights for our project. Could you share more about how you manage that situation? I think understanding your strategy could help me improve my own work. Using curiosity phrases helps you engage others naturally, maintain smooth conversation, and show genuine interest. Next, let's focus on phrases for expressing disappointment or frustration politely, which are important for maintaining professionalism. Start with simple sentences. I was a little disappointed with the service. I'm frustrated because the system isn't working properly. For advanced learners, add reasoning and possible solutions. I was disappointed with the recent update because it caused unexpected issues. I hope the team can address this soon so the process works smoothly again. I felt frustrated with the delays, but I understand there may be challenges we need to consider and am happy to help find a solution. Using polite expressions of frustration makes your English sound mature, respectful, and professional, even in difficult situations. Now, let's practice phrases for offering help, which are essential in both social and professional contexts. Start with simple sentences. Do you need any help? I can assist if you want. For advanced learners, expand with detail and politeness. If you're facing difficulties with this task, I'd be happy to guide you through it and provide any support you need to complete it successfully. Please let me know if I can help in any way. I'm happy to assist to ensure we meet our goals efficiently. Offering help naturally builds trust, strengthens relationships, and improves communication skills. Next, let's practice making polite requests, which is crucial for fluency and professionalism. Start with simple sentences. Could you please pass me the report? Would you mind helping me with this task? For advanced learners, expand with details and politeness. I would greatly appreciate it if you could review these documents and provide your feedback by the end of the day. Your expertise would be invaluable. Could you kindly share the updated schedule? It will help me plan my tasks more effectively. Using polite requests helps your English sound respectful, confident, and professional in any context. By practicing explaining situations, expressing gratitude, showing surprise, expressing curiosity, handling disappointment, offering help, making requests, and discussing plans, you gradually develop advanced English skills. Start with simple sentences, then add details, reasoning, reflections, and context. Daily practice will make your English fluent, natural, and confident in both social and professional situations. For advanced learners, you can expand your sentences with reasoning and context. I think we should consider another option because it might address the problem more effectively while keeping everyone's interests in mind. Let's find a solution that works for everyone. Perhaps we can combine elements from both proposals to achieve a balanced and practical outcome. Using phrases for negotiation and problem-solving helps your English sound thoughtful, professional, and persuasive in both social and workplace discussions. Next, let's practice phrases for discussing challenges and offering solutions. Start with simple sentences. We faced some difficulties with the project timeline. The system isn't functioning as expected. For advanced learners, add details, reasoning, and possible solutions. We encountered unexpected challenges with the project timeline due to resource constraints. Perhaps we can reallocate tasks to meet the deadline efficiently. The system experienced temporary glitches yesterday. I suggest updating the software and monitoring its performance closely to prevent future issues. Using these phrases helps you communicate problems clearly while sounding constructive and professional. Next, let's focus on phrases for expressing opinions persuasively, which is vital in advanced discussions and decision-making. Start with simple sentences. I believe this approach is effective. In my opinion, this strategy could be improved. For advanced learners, expand with reasoning and supporting details. I strongly believe this approach will work because previous results indicate its effectiveness and it aligns with our project goals. In my opinion, while this strategy has potential, incorporating additional data and feedback could make the outcome even more successful. Expressing opinions persuasively helps you sound confident, professional, and credible. Now, let's practice phrases for summarizing and concluding discussions, which are important in meetings, presentations, and conversations. Start with simple sentences. In conclusion, this plan seems workable. To summarize, these are the key points we discussed. For advanced learners, expand with reflection and suggestions. In conclusion, I believe this plan is feasible, but we should monitor progress closely and make adjustments if needed to ensure optimal results. To summarize, the discussion highlighted several important factors. I recommend we prioritize these points and schedule follow-ups to track our progress effectively. Using summarizing phrases helps your English sound organized, clear, and professional. Next, let's practice phrases for expressing future expectations and goals. Start with simple sentences. I expect the project to be completed on time. I hope to improve my communication skills this year. For advanced learners, add reasoning and reflection. I expect the project to be completed on time because we have clearly defined tasks and strong collaboration within the team. I hope to improve my communication skills this year by practicing daily conversations, attending workshops, and seeking feedback from colleagues. Using these phrases helps you express confidence, planning skills, and professionalism in English. By practicing negotiation, problem-solving, persuasive opinions, summarizing discussions, and expressing expectations, learners will gradually develop advanced English fluency, clarity, and confidence. Start with simple sentences, then add reasoning, details, reflections, and context. Regular practice ensures your speech is natural, professional, and engaging in both social and workplace settings. 1. Negotiation phrases. Negotiation phrases help learners express ideas persuasively and collaboratively. Simple examples. While I understand your approach, perhaps we could explore an alternative that balances efficiency and quality. We could explore an alternative strategy that addresses the issue more effectively while considering all team members' perspectives. Advanced examples. While I respect your suggestion, I think combining elements from both approaches could improve outcomes and ensure alignment across the team. Perhaps we can adjust the plan slightly to balance quality and efficiency while keeping all stakeholders informed. Why it matters. Using negotiation phrases makes your English sound professional, persuasive, and collaborative. 2. Expressing persuasive opinions. Expressing opinions persuasively demonstrates confidence and clarity, which is essential for advanced conversations. Simple examples. I strongly believe this approach will work well. In my opinion, this is the best solution to our problem. Advanced examples. Based on the data and previous experience, I am convinced that implementing this strategy will significantly improve outcomes and efficiency in the long run. While I agree with most of the proposal, incorporating additional research and feedback could strengthen the final result considerably. 3. Expressing uncertainty politely. Uncertainty is natural in nuanced conversations. Expressing it politely shows thoughtfulness and professionalism. Simple examples. I'm not completely sure, but it seems like a good idea. I might be mistaken, but I think this approach could work. Advanced examples. While I'm not entirely certain about the projected timeline, based on initial results, it seems feasible to achieve our goals within the proposed schedule. I might be wrong, but from what I've observed so far, this approach appears promising and worth exploring further. 4. Describing events and experiences in detail. Detailed descriptions improve storytelling skills and fluency. Simple examples. I went to a local market yesterday, and it was very lively. I attended a workshop last week, and it was informative. Advanced examples. During my visit to the city last month, I explored several cultural landmarks, tried local cuisine, and interacted with residents. The experience was enriching and provided new perspectives on the region's traditions and history. I participated in an art exhibition over the weekend. Observing the diverse works and speaking with the artists inspired me to try new techniques in my own projects. 5. Expressing preferences and giving reasons. Giving reasons makes your opinion stronger, more persuasive, and engaging. Simple examples. I prefer reading books in the evening because it helps me relax. I like studying in quiet places rather than noisy ones. Advanced examples. I generally prefer working in a calm environment because it enhances my focus and productivity, but occasionally I enjoy collaborating in lively spaces to stimulate creativity. I usually prefer working in a well-organized, quiet place because it allows me to concentrate and complete tasks efficiently. However, sometimes I enjoy working in a lively environment with others because it sparks new ideas and encourages creativity. Why it matters. Providing reasoning helps your English sound natural, confident, and professional. 6. Making polite suggestions. Polite suggestions allow you to give advice or recommendations without sounding rude. Simple examples. I suggest trying the new cafe downtown. You could practice speaking English with a friend every day. Advanced examples. It might be helpful to organize short, focused practice sessions every day instead of long sessions only occasionally. This can improve fluency and confidence more effectively. Perhaps you could join a language exchange group to practice speaking in a more interactive environment. It might enhance your conversational skills significantly. Why it matters. Polite suggestions show respect for others' choices while providing helpful advice. This section now covers negotiation and collaboration, persuasive opinions, polite expressions of uncertainty, detailed descriptions of events, expressing preferences with reasoning, making polite suggestions. Practicing these phrases regularly will help learners speak fluently, sound confident, and communicate naturally in professional and social contexts.